Dolphins are mammal, right? So they have teeth.
Oh, God.
I'm not a marine biologist, but I believe that's the case. So I got to think, maybe Aquaman was nursing off his dolphin mom.
Are you sure you're not a marine biologist? Here we go again. It is time for another episode of Comic Books and Cold Ones. Welcome back, everybody, to your favorite beer podcast with a comic book problem. Here we talk all things comic books and we drink all things beer. This is KMac, one half of your hosts, and I am joined today by the self-proclaimed King of the Seven Yeks. See, this time I used the nickname you chose for yourself.
Thank you, Kaorm, the ocean master of the day for us.
Yeah, you did such a bad job with those.
I know.
Oh. But yeah, so how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Excited. The holiday season's here, and so we're recording our annual holiday festivities season episodes. And if you couldn't tell by the names we gave each other, we are doing the 12 Days of Aquaman-Mas this year.
Because you demanded it.
And also in honor of the soon to come out Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom movie, because they need our help promoting it or it'll go belly up. So we are doing our part.
Yeah, we're putting that on our shoulders. The weight of the seven seas.
So because you demanded it and we received it in emails, you know how to get a hold of us, but I'll go over the top of those and how to get back to us. If you like this episode and wanted us to do more of these, send us an email at cbcopodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up at the Twitter, X, or whatever they're calling it these days at cbco_podcast. Like all our beer pictures at Instagram at comicbooks_cold ones. And send us a fish mail if you're down from Atlantis or however that gets around from under the seas.
And, before we get started on our shout out, I think we should introduce our special guest. We have
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa for the first time ever. Like you said, this movie needs some help. And we're here to do that. And we've enlisted the heavy hitters. But so obviously not Jason Momoa, but the next best thing, we have our very own Aquaman expert, Aquaman Alex. Welcome to the show, Alex. How you doing?
Great, KMac, and great, Yek. Thank you very much for having me on today's show. I hope I could aspire to be what a Jason Momoa guest star would be like. I can't guarantee I'd come anywhere near that. I'd probably be more like a Aqualad level. Maybe, honestly, probably like a fish compared to
Mr. Tadpole. In promoting this episode, I will not say we will not attempt to take your face and put it on Jason Momoa's body wearing the Aquaman suit. That may or may not happen as part of our promo.
Screenshots.
You're going to need some mad Photoshop skills for that.
Only the best. And our shout out of the day in honor of Aquaman and all things seas and ocean, we actually had a download from Mera del Plata in Buenos Aires, which is the beach area of Buenos Aires, I believe. And I'm sure Arthur Curdy would love to have a house there. If Mira's not around, maybe hook up with some Argentinian chicks.
Yeah. This is our first download from Argentina, as far as I know.
Yes.
But I don't know anything about it. Do you know anything about it? It
means Sea of Silver, right?
Yeah. Oh, there's La Paloma Brewing Company, which is a gastropub and craft ale bar. There you go.
We may have to take this on the road then to Mera del Plata when we get multiple recording downloads from there.
Yeah.
Especially of this episode.
Yeah, we are the new favorite podcast.
I already have my orange swimsuit and green Speedo ready to go. I'm ready to hit those Argentinian beaches.
Got your handheld harpoon?
Yes. Yes. But to get it going so we can get this thing going on, because we got 12 days of Aquaman-Mas to go through. We got to get some Christmas beers out and start drinking those so I can put on some weight before I put on that banana hammock and go to Argentina and show off this fine Aquaman physique. And I'll let you kick it off. What beer are you having first for your Christmas tidings?
Yeah, so this is our Christmas podcast, and we have Aquaman theme, so a theme of the seas. So my beer is from a brewery called Cage Brewing, whose logo is an octopus in a cage. So I thought that was on point and on theme for today's show. And my beer is called Winter Warmer, and it's a spiced Scotch ale coming in at 8% ABV with 15 IBUs. And Cage Brewing is in St. Petersburg, just a few blocks away from my office. I'd never been there before, but took a special trip there yesterday to grab my beer. And I'm super pumped to have. I had a little taste of it, and I'm super pumped to have the rest of it right now.
What exactly does a caged octopus have to do with winter and or Scotland?
Everything. Those Scots, they love to cage. They have pet octopus all over the place in cages.
But I will say you did touch all the bases. You got both a winter-themed beer and an Aquaman-themed beer, which I was not able to do.
So who's the best podcaster?
Yes.
Who's the best?
You are Aquaman's favorite, Arthur Curry's number one son, which means you probably get killed by somebody.
Probably. That's how it goes.
Well, I'm joining you on the higher ABV winter-style beers. I have something from Solace Brewing Company. It is a double Bock called Griswold's Winter Bock. And nice. It is, based on the Christmas Vacation. It has a picture of the squirrel in the Christmas tree that attacks Clark Griswold and eventually gets I've attempted to be eaten by the Rottweiler, which is quite the scene. It comes in like at 8.2%. Like I said, it doesn't have any nice steamy logos, but it's pretty solid. I've had one or two already this week. So, and Alex, the Aquaman Alex, what do you have for us today?
Yeah, so today I thought I'd try and cross mold the two themes together, and conveniently, one of my favorite breweries from my hometown, Cleveland, Ohio, called Great Lakes. So, water there.
Water theme.
Yeah.
So you're ahead of Yek already. Perfect.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
You both are better podcasters than me. Yes,
Yeah,
especially when it comes to Aquaman episodes.
Yeah. Next episode of Comic Books and Cold One will be KMac and Aquaman Alex in January. Yek, you're gone.
I have been rotated out.
But no, I'm drinking a Christmas ale from them. And it's just 7.5%. And the description on the bottle, at least, is a ale with spices and honey. So
nice.
Very seasonal beer.
And you've had a ton of those before, I'm sure.
Yes, the local Browns backers bar has those on draft, and they're either celebration or beers to forget. So it's one of the two. But more often than not, recently, for at least this season, it's been beers to celebrate. So,
of the American Christmas beers, I think that's maybe number one of the ones that when you go to the store, you can usually, if you're going to find a Christmas ale, it's that or the big Anchor bottle that they make every year. Those are the two Christmas beers that I think of, and probably the most iconic is the Great Lakes Christmas ale, I think.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of a hometown debate, I believe, also with it. There's another brewery up in Northeast Ohio called Thirsty Dog. And I think the original brewmaster that made up the original recipe for Christmas ale went there, and they have a beer called 12 Dogs of Christmas, which...
is that like a dog pound thing?
I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know too much about the brewery outside of that story, if it's true. At least that's what I've been told. So it could be all lies right there.
Well, Yek, you're back in on the show.
Just put that disclaimer out there. That might not be factual, but that's what I've heard. But I'm assuming, being up in Northeast Ohio, I'm sure there's a tide, or at least you can make one there.
We've heard it here first. Breaking news. It's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, I better get drinking here so I can start talking some Aquaman and drink some good beers. So, cracking mine open, it pours multi-gold, dark brownish, double bucky. Fine.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
What beer do you think Aquaman would have preferred? Or why do I say would?
We know he likes beer. At least the interpretation by Jason Momoa. Loves fucking beer, right? So the reason we're a little disappointed, I did reach out to Jason Momoa's PR director and sent
Yeah.
them him and an invite to Jason Momoa to come on the show. I have not heard back to him. I assume that's just because they're screening it, because if he knew there was going to be a show promoting his movie, talking
Yeah.
Aquaman and drinking beer, there's no way Lisa Bonet was going to keep him from doing that.
Yeah,
And
he probably got nervous, to be
yes.
honest. A little nervous. So so Cage Brewing puts out a beer called Octopus Amber. That might be his kind of beer. The only beer I know with fish name.
Well, there's got to be out of Boston. There's Harpoon Ale, right? So.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
And they make a Christmas beer also that I remember trying at least one time before. But Harpoon, Heavy Seas out of Maryland, yeah. Port City, I know, Alexandria, yeah.
A couple of good breweries up in Maine as well. Although I feel like a lot of the main breweries, they stay local.
Yes.
Not local, but like it's very hard to get
low distribution outside of the state. Yeah. They very do a Wisconsin thing where it's like, yeah, it's just for us. Really, we don't really care. You have to come up and get us, with the exception of the Allagash. And then if you get something from Maine Brewing Company, it's usually, they only serve like the not full bomber size bottles, but the in between bottles, and they do fancy stuff.
Yeah. And Big Storm down here has a Wave Maker Amber Ale.
Yeah, I would think every Florida brewery would be Aquaman's brewery, because
I think so. Yeah, all the beers have like names related to water or orange or flamingo.
Flamingo.
Or anything from Ballast Point. Also, yeah, they're all Aquaman themed beers, I would think.
Yeah.
Speaking of Aquaman, he was created by Paul Norris and Mort Weisinger, and he debuted in More Fun Comics number 73 in November 1941.
Punching Nazis.
Punching Nazis, which I believe we all read. And in the comic, for some reason, all Nazis have Hitler stashes, even if they're just the low-ranking sub-commander.
Oh, that's how it was. That's fact.
That's how you knew you could punch him.
Yeah.
That's how you found it.
It's part of
I'm not sure if he's a Nazi or not. Did you see his stash? Poor Charlie Chaplin got the shit beat out of him for a year before he had to fix that.
Yeah, Aquaman was like, "You have a mustache, Charlie Chaplin. Punch you in the face."
And Aquaman, since 1941, has had a super run. Now, he is one of the few DC comics that was derivative of a Marvel comic, with Namor the Submariner appearing before Aquaman. Not everybody knows that. So,
yeah.
But
also fighting Nazis.
And we'll probably talk a little bit, because I read a lot of Namor growing up when he had his own individual series in the 90s. But influenced also by great creators over the years. Aquaman, the great artist Jim Aparo, did all the classic stuff, the big classic runs back in the 60s. Famous for also doing Brave and the Bold #1. And then more recently, probably one of the greatest top 10 comic writers of all times, Peter David, famously did his run in the 90s, trying to revamp Aquaman. And then the movie influenced are all by pretty much Jeff Johns from the New 52 onward, which is when a young Aquaman Alex started reading the books and getting fascinated by the Lord of the Deep.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, my strongest, I guess, affiliation with Aquaman is through Jeff Johns. And I remember when I got into the series in college, and I had a couple, or I had actually a pretty good friend that was also into comics, and I was just asking him, like, hey, where do I start, basically? Because he's like, you know what, DC just came out with the New 52, just pick one of those up.
Yep. Start alphabetically.
Well, no. I wish I was the answer, but I was just like, A
is for Aquaman.
It's probably got lineage to me being a Browns fan. Always kind of like an underdog, but Aquaman gets butt of all jokes, and like it's trendy. Aquaman is a meme, basically. So I was like, let's see what the meme is about. And then I start reading it, and then right away in like one of the first issues from the New 52, it's just, I think it's like the first appearance of him. He's got the scale armor, and then it's just a bunch of like quick quirk and jokes that like all the civilians are saying about him, like, can you breathe? How do you like it was just basically any meme was addressed and then like kind of turned around. So I thought it was clever. I was like, they acknowledged the I guess
jokes, right? The go talk to some fish,
and
Aquaman.
and then they kind of make them, I think, really badass. And then you cast somebody like Jason Momoa to play him in the movies, and that's another. I don't know. I'd say that's like up there with Henry Cavill as Superman. So
they definitely had an ab off on the movie set of Justice League. I believe Cavill and Momoa just walked around flexing on people. And to your point on Aquaman not being that popular, I will have a supposition when we go on the 12 Days of Aquaman when I did my research on the popularity level of Aquaman compared to other characters. So I will wait till we get to that day. But to kick this off, you know how the song goes. On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me. But when we do Aquaman-Mas, it's on the first day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics sent to me. And then we do the lyric. And the lyric breaks down everything in Aquaman's world that we can find. And I think we were able to do no repeats this year. Sometimes we have repeats when we've done this or miss out. But all the numbers always work, at least in our head and for our show.
It's good enough for podcasting, that's for sure.
So to get this kicked off, we rotate on singing this Aquaman Alex. So each lyric, we will not do the full song until the very end so as not to spoil anything. But I will go first and we give a little talk about what we think about that thing of the day. So on the first day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics sent to me a dank undersea cave, which is the Aquacave, appears in the classic comic, appears in the cartoon from the 60s, appears all the way onward, even to the Peter David run, when Aquaman becomes a sullen, bitter guy with no hand and just living in a cave under the sea with his friends.
Bearded, messy-haired Aquaman.
And if you go online, and the pictures in our show notes here, they have the schematic, like they always do in comics, of the basis for all the superheroes. And the Aquaman cave consists of a clamshell entrance that can be closed up or down like a clamshell that goes through a tunnel into a monitor room. And on the back end, he has a laboratory. Yeah, and then above that, he's got some kitchen, a dining room, and a recreation area. So that's the gym or whatever. And then above that, he has the biggest goddamn bed in a bedroom I've ever seen in my life.
That floor is all bedroom.
You're not stationary underwater. You're floating around.
Right. It's a water bed.
Yeah. Also, what sheets are they using on that thing?
Well, they have to be those heavy weighted sheets, right? Just like you get during wintertime, right? To keep you down because they have to sink on you.
So is it filled with water or is it dry in there?
I always get confused in the comic book when I read Aquaman whether they are actually in the water or they've gone into a dry area. And I'm going to assume parts of it are dry. I don't know, maybe. I assume the upstairs that is a giant attic storage area where you just put junk. It's probably dry. But the bed, giant water bed. I've never understood also, why do they have so many chairs and beds in Atlantis if they're always floating, right? You can just sleep in the ceiling or you sleep on the floor.
Yeah, wherever.
Also, like the monitor room is, I think, like the brains of the operation, right? And that's like the first thing you see when you enter.
Yeah, right behind the front door.
Yeah, you might want to
front shell.
provide some distance. And also a lab. Is that just because they're like, well, Batman has a lab, so Aquaman has to have a lab, and everybody has to have a lab, and you're like, Aquaman doesn't do science. Aquaman just punches things and calls fish.
Yeah, I like how he has a microwave in his kitchen, though. That's important, especially underwater. You gotta cook things.
But
dry them out, pull all the water out of it.
There is the rule, though, right? You know how bad that room smells because all they are doing is microwaving fish.
Fish, yeah.
It's underwater.
It's underwater.
Scent's a little bit different.
I assume. Well, it's fresher, right? Yeah, it's fresh. That's the big difference. Always fresh.
Yeah, but he has a lot of shit in storage. I didn't notice that till just now. Wow, what is he storing in there? like appendages for his hand, different like hooks and harpoons.
Well, I assume every Aquaman story revolves around some new ancient Atlantean artifact they have to get, and so I assume it's just where they throw them when they're done for the plot of that run or whatever. They just throw it up in the storage attic. But
that makes sense.
It's a pretty sweet cave. I'll admit to this.
It's an Aquaman cave.
It's the Aquaman cave. The Aqua cave.
Also, the doors are all in that A-frame too, like the Aquaman logo.
Oh yeah. You gotta have theme stuff, right?
No,
I didn't catch that. I just saw that now. Yeah, you got that. The Aquaman logo.
Yeah, that's some attention to detail. I gotta say, good for Aquaman. He's like, if I'm gonna have an aqua cave, it's gonna be badass. It's gonna have my logo everywhere.
And there are stairs you can see through the pictures with the doors.
Yeah.
So I guess it's
dry.
It's all underwater because you don't need stairs. You just need a hole in the ceiling, right?
What's the transportation room?
I assume that's where Storm hangs out and all the other seahorses. And whatever the aqua boats are.
Subs, yeah.
Okay.
That's a cool base of operations. I like that. Good for Aquaman. He doesn't really use it very much anymore, right? He mostly uses the lighthouse now as his base of operations, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's had various places right over the years.
Yeah, I'd say more recently it's been between. Depends what like phase of the story you're in. I think, like in the origin part, he's mostly on dry land, East Coast, and then when he first goes to Atlantis, I think he has to. He basically, I mean, he's like the hybrid, so he's got to juggle between both what they say surface people and Atlanteans. So it's he's kind of had basically multiple hideouts, bases.
Yeah, over the years in the comics I read, he's had the Aquacave, he's had, Atlantis proper. He had in the 80s when they did the blue suited Aquaman in that miniseries, he lived in New Venice in Florida that he and Mera helped establish. And then Ocean Master wiped it out of Florida. Like a hurricane, just like most things in Florida just go away. And
yeah, that happens a lot.
And then all the various origins, he lived someplace in a White House with his dad for a while. And so, and had quite a few things. So. Living quarters, clamshells. All right, Alex, do you want to take the second day here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sing it away.
All right. I was trying to do this in my head earlier, so I apologize in advance. On the second day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics sent to me 2 dynamic teams.
Perfect.
I don't know yet.
You can do all the rest.
Oh, no. But no, this is a good one because I am obviously familiar with him being in the Justice League. And I think in the Justice League, he's like always kind of he's
underutilized in the Justice League generally.
But I think that's because like at least the crossover stories, or like whenever they have like a Justice League comic come through the Aquaman lineage, like they hang out for a couple seconds and then Aquaman like goes to take care of his part, like at least in the parts I'm reading. So like when it's obviously following closely to Aquaman, he like always tries to solve the problem himself. And they say, "Oh, you should have came to us." And it's like, "Well, I didn't trust you guys because
you guys don't understand Atlantis."
Yeah.
You don't understand Atlantis, God.
Go.
Yeah, over the years, Aquaman and like Namor followed slightly different trajectories. They all started out as kind of the protector of Atlantis and defender against the surface world, where then in like the 60s, Aquaman became a little more soft-hearted, and Namor continued to be the avenging son of Atlantis and the defender, and we're always going to make war on the surface world if they come after us, and became an anti-hero. And now Aquaman's come back around with that also, where he's now, after Peter David run being sullen and bitter, and then Jeff Johns taking it of, Atlantis is going to be its own thing, and he's headstrong and always, always, I don't need help. I'm do it myself. And that's the reason, it's interesting that he's only been part of 2 teams. And I looked, because when we did like Hawkeye-Miss, he was part of like 7 teams.
Yeah, Hawkeye's in all the teams.
Yes.
Except for X-Men, he's been in every team.
Neymar's been in 3 teams,
Yeah.
at least. So
Well, there's that. I think I texted you earlier today about Hawkeye. I didn't. There's like, at least recently, there's a new Hawkeye and Aquaman. I think they're celebrating the 80th. I won't say birthday of the characters, but the 80th anniversary of those characters. And what I forgot what I told you it was. It's called Deep
Dive.
No, it wasn't called Deep Dive.
Oh, Green Arrow, you mean Green Arrow.
Deep Target.
Yeah.
Deep Target.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like an 80s movie. Like, it's like,
Oh yeah, Hard Target.
It's got,
Deep Impact.
it's got to have Jean-Claude Van Damme in it.
I like, just the name alone, I'm like, this actually seems like it might be interesting. But yeah, so yeah, Justice League and then the others, which is one I discovered. I believe that also Geoff Johns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Came out of the New 52. So yeah, in the Justice League, the Justice League's always been the archetypal team that people looked over the year that mirrors the Olympians, that the Justice League are the new gods on Earth. And so, of course, Aquaman takes the role of Poseidon or Neptune in that. And then this others ones that Geoff Johns made out of nothing. This is a group that when they were young and they were going after Black Mana, they formed a group of, multinational team of adventurers that I had never heard of.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Outsiders almost with Batman is what it reminded me of. But there's a pretty cool cast to this team for sure.
It consisted of Yawara, Prisoner of War, the Operative, Sky, Alexei, and Vostok 12.
Yeah, not Vostok 11, Vostok 12. Vostok
And
11 was a former member.
Yeah, and there were other former members, and Kahina, Mora, and Vostok 11 and say. So yeah, but it's a good story. Like when they introduced it, that each of those members got an Atlantean artifact to keep it away from Black Mana, and that's how the Trident, Aquaman got the Trident.
Yeah, I like that origin to that right there. Did you read any of the others?
I didn't read their standalone comic. Didn't get a chance. I just read when they appeared in the Geoff Johns run, but I was going to try to read some of that. But
Yeah, same with me. I haven't delved into their own series yet, but yeah, I like that cast of characters. They look really interesting.
Yeah, and at least the run-in with Aquaman that they had through that lineage, it was. I thought that was very good. And it piqued my interest, but I just never got into it either. But I think they added a lot of like the stories that they like hinted at for a lot of those characters, especially like Prisoner of War. I thought they were pretty good. I was like, these are interesting characters that I actually want to see how they kind of develop.
Yeah, in the first in their first appearances, they planted a lot of seeds for future stories for them. I thought that was cool. Like how the one guy was on the moon for however long, and
is that the boss?
I think that was Vostok. Yeah.
He was bred to be a space soldier by the Russians.
Yeah,
to live without human contact, and it's been hard to be on a team. So
so not too many people know about the others, but that I was impressed.
And it's good that like he doesn't like we said, he's headstrong, doesn't like appear on other teams, and this is his team, right? The others, he doesn't want to go to the mainline guys. So
yeah, and I'll say the Justice League recently has had a couple of stories that have centered around Aquaman, which is more than they've I think had historically almost because they had one that we talked about it a little bit in our DC talk, Yek. That ended up, there were like some Atlantean gods who flooded the planet, who were working with Lex Luthor and his Legion of Doom at that point. And then there was one in the Geoff Johns run that we read a little bit of too. So it's good that they're featuring him a little bit more lately.
Got to pump those numbers up for the movie.
Yeah,
you do. Yes, you do.
Which brings us to the third day, and it's KMac's round.
Here we go. On the third day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics sent to me 3 funky origins.
In place of 3 friendships, we got 3 funky origins, and I'm going to rattle them off here for you. So he's had basically an origin with the first 2 ages of comics. So the Golden Age, he was just a kid, the son of an undersea explorer, and we'll get to dad's names later. We don't know who the hell his mom is, but the undersea explorer dad found some Atlantean stuff and set up a bathysphere under the water,
Yeah.
and then just raised his son under the water and made him get powers by making him stay outside all day and underwater. Only things you could do in the 40s like that, right? Is
Yeah.
you're not coming in until you're the best swimmer, kid.
That's a good dad. That's what I do to my kids. Stay in the pool all day. But it's 40 degrees. So what? Get powers.
Stay underwater until you breathe water. You little shit.
Sometimes that works.
Did you get to read the first that comic story, Alex?
I did not.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, his dad is like, basically looks like the skipper from Gilligan's Island, but with a beard. So he has the skipper's hat and everything, and he's under the water, and just has like a bathysphere. So he's living in like the little tube submarine that doesn't move, and he's like just throws his son in the water, makes him play with fish all day.
Oh, jeez. Well, look, Justice League wouldn't have had one of their greatest superheroes.
Yes.
Yeah, the training was worth it.
So like most DC comics, when the Silver Age came around, they reinvented it. And then the more classic one that you're used to is what the Silver Age story was. He's the son of a lighthouse keeper and the Queen of Atlantis. And this is also what gets rebooted in the New 52. So he gets his powers by being a hybrid of the land and of the sea. And then when they had the big crisis, they even went wilder. So after the kind of the end of the Silver Age and DC started its whole cycle of rebootings again in the 80s, the crisis, they decided, that simple story of a hybrid, we don't want to do any of that crap, right?
Not good enough. Not good enough.
We just like all the crisis stories, it's got to be really in depth. So this one is, he is the son of the Queen of Atlantis and some mysterious Atlantean wizard. But because he's born with blonde hair, he's cursed. He has the curse of Kordak. So they expose him on Mercy Reef as a baby, just leave him out to die. He gets a dolphin mother to raise him. And he swims with dolphins and learns how to catch fish with dolphins. And then eventually he washes up on land, and a lighthouse keeper takes him in and eventually gives him his name as on his deathbed to take over the lighthouse for him. And then he goes back to Atlantis. But such a crisis, post-crisis.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had told you, Yek, that I'd never read an Aquaman book until we were doing this. That was wrong, because I owned the Legend of Aquaman Special #1 at one point, and I read that story. When I was leafing through it, I was like, wait a second, I remember this. Aquaman's first words were swear words. Yes. Perfect.
Because he was raised by a proper lighthouse keeper.
Yeah.
Mouth of a sailor.
Arr.
But how shitty is it to be born in Atlantean royalty, but you got blonde hair, so like, you got to get the fuck out, man.
Nope, not allowed.
Are they like
anti-Nazis?
Like let him outside and he floats to the top, or like do they?
They didn't chain him down. They set him on a reef at Mercy Reef, which is a reoccurring thing, and they just left him, and he just floated on the bottom. And then this dolphin came along. It's like, oh, I'm going to adopt him. And because he could talk, he could understand dolphin at the time. They just adopted him, and he just butt-ass naked Aquaman swimming around the seas, learning how to catch fish. And he basically was like a stray dog when he came up to the lighthouse keeper, and would only come back every once in a while and started bringing him fish, leaving fish for him as a treat. Because that's what he learned from his dolphin family to do good things. So he adopted him because he was such a good fisherman.
All right, so what's the best origin? Is it the simple one or the crazy ass one? Which is the best? Well, there are two crazy ass ones. Which is the best?
I'm gonna go with the original one because I want my Aquaman just not just gotten powers because he was made to. Although I do like the idea of a dolphin mother,
Yeah. I would pick the one I'm most familiar with. But I do think the first one has its merits for its times.
Yeah, I like Dolphin Mother swear words, first words. That's the one I knew first as well. I was like, this is when I was reading it. I was like, what in the world is going on in this book? Like, because I knew Aquaman's origin was something different. Like he was, Atlantean mother and human father, but that was something very different.
And so dolphins are mammal, right? And so they have teats, right?
Oh God.
I would assume so.
And I'm not a marine biologist, but I believe that's the case. So I got to think, baby Aquaman was nursing off Porm, his dolphin mom.
Are you sure you're not a marine biologist?
I may have just earned my PhD when I write my dissertation.
Put that in a Google search. Do dolphins have?
Yeah, we'll just count that as fact. That's a fact.
Dolphins got teats. That's all I know.
Oh, that's good.
How else was a baby gonna survive, right?
I don't know. But yeah,
that is a good question, though. That's a big loophole that they did not address.
Yeah. You'd think as crazy as they went, they would have explained something like that too.
I think Peter David dove into that a little bit when we get to one of the loves of Aquaman.
Oh yeah, he definitely addressed dolphin teats.
Wasn't there a? Oh, I forget.
We may have a day on that, but we'll get to it. So we're going to roll on to the fourth day. But they didn't leave Aquaman alone with his origins. So they gave him lots of good backstory that authors can play on. But that brings us to the fourth day. So on the fourth day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics sent to me forecasting Aquamans. So there have been 4, based on my research, live action actors that have played Aquaman proper as a character as Aquaman, not playing a character playing Aquaman, playing a character in a movie. So we're excluding Entourage. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
We're excluding Entourage. The first Aquaman set the bar for physicality of Aquaman, the first live action one that everybody else had to live up to. That's the reason it's gotten more and more ripped over the years. And so the first person to ever play Aquaman on TV or movie live action, and it's the only one I could find, was David Spade on Saturday Night Live in 1992 at the Death of Superman skit.
He brought shrimp to the funeral. That's great. I'd never seen that skit until I watched it, I think earlier today, actually. But yeah, that was good. I like that.
And everyone after that, Jason Momoa watched that. It's like, I got to get ripped. If the Spader's playing this, man.
Yeah, I can't be outdone by Spade.
Yeah, the imposing David Spade set the stage. But after that, the first non-comical appearance was done by a well-known now comic book actor, and that's Alan Ritchson on Smallville season episode 5.4 of Smallville. And I watched this one live when it came on, because this was like when the season 4 they debuted the Flash. They started debuting characters each one, and Alan Ritchson, who is now starring in Reacher on Prime, who was Tad on Blue Mountain State, and played Hawk on Titans.
I forgot about that.
Yes. And he's a big old dude, and he shows up ripped in this episode of Smallville.
Yeah, he's bulked up since then too.
Oh yeah, he's gotten even huger. Yeah, because he got big to Billy Tad on Blue Mountain State. Have you ever seen Blue Mountain State, Alex?
No, I have.
Yeah.
That's a Spike TV Prime.
Yes,
that's a Prime Spike TV show. When Spike TV was the thing. Or Spike. It wasn't Spike TV. It was just Spike, right? Yep. I forget what it's called.
But have you seen the episode of Smallville when they have him?
I think I have, like, when it first aired.
Yeah,
When
he was
that
a
again? What year
he was a
that?
young guy then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I didn't know that was him.
Yep. Yeah. I had to go back and watch it and realize it was him. But so in the show, he hits on Lois, and who's just got debuted that season as a friend of Clark, and so they're not dating yet, and he's still dating Lana. So the whole thing is him making the moves, being all kind of arrogant and on it. But he has to go to Smallville because there's something happened to the sea life in Smallville, and they're all at a party at the lake in Smallville, Kansas, which happens to be a mountain lake with giant mountains in the background.
Hey, this is the DC universe.
Yes. And the best part is he has, the whole time he's wearing a tank top, because it's like the first days of class at Smallville University or whatever Superman goes to college at the time. He has an orange tank top and green board shorts. And you know how they describe away the fact that he wears orange and green?
No, what do they do? I don't know.
He's a college athlete. He's a swimmer at a university. Can you guess what university he swims for?
University of Miami.
Yes.
That's right. I remember that.
He's a hurricane.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
That's how they describe it away. He's like, "What's up with your funky style?" "Oh, I swim from Miami, man."
I swim from Miami. I don't need to kick.
But I do wonder if they gave him, a shot at playing the big screen on-screen Aquaman, or they just gave it straight to Jason Momoa, the heritage.
Probably just straight to Momoa. Yeah.
But here's my supposition on Aquaman being popular. I think he's the third leg of the triumvirate. Not Wonder Woman, not Flash, not Green Lantern. He had a cartoon before all those other guys, so it was the Aquaman and Superman animation hour. He had his own feature cartoon. This episode of Smallville in season 5 got 6.4 million viewers. It was the highest rated episode since season 3, and that show ran 10 seasons, and no episode was rated higher after that episode than this one.
Aquaman's debut?
Aquaman's debut.
Wow, good for him.
I mean,
that's a fun fact right there.
I did dig in that, and he makes a joke at the end that they should start the Junior Lifeguard Association with him and Superman, bringing it back together. So
JLA.
Yeah.
So Aquaman Alex, I have a question for you. How many TVs did you watch that on simultaneously to get those ratings up?
Oh yeah, this was before I was an Aquaman fan, so that would have been. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, that's. I mean, I think it just showed like what else I would say. What else happened in that season that was probably driving the show? But
Aquaman was obviously he blew it through the water with 6.4 million. It was 2 million higher than I think any of the other episodes. They're all like 4 million or less.
Yeah, I guess
even the.
Was he the first other hero they debuted? He might have been.
He's second. Flash was in season 4.
Oh,
the episode run. Yes. Because I watched that one live also. Anytime they showed like the clip of like they're going to have a new guy on, it's like they had Cyborg and eventually Green Arrow, who we're going to get to right next. Because the second person to play Aquaman seriously was Justin Hartley when they tried to build upon the success of Smallville's appearance of Aquaman by having an Aquaman TV show on its own. And they had a pilot called Mercy Reef.
Right.
And it was Justin Hartley played it. Did not get picked up, but Justin Hartley went on to be Green Arrow in Smallville.
Right. He played Oliver Queen.
Yes.
So, I remember when that show came out and I was like, why isn't it the same Aquaman from Smallville? That's why I didn't watch it. I'm like, this is stupid. What's up with that? Like, I'm invested in the Smallville continuity here. And this is definitely a part of it.
His agent probably said that was the biggest grossing episode. You got to pay us more. And they're like, oh, we can't afford that talent.
Let's see if we can get by on a budget here.
And for everyone who likes watching, dramas on network TV, Justin Hartley was on the award-winning TV show This Is Us for a long time that my wife watched for 6 years.
Yeah, I don't watch adult TV.
No. Well, I don't usually watch anything if it's on network TV anymore. It just doesn't happen.
Did anyone call him Aquaman on that?
No, but I wish they did, because they should have, obviously.
It's been a much better TV show.
They did have a few episodes where they were swimming in the pool, and he was a really good swimmer, if I remember. So I bet he grows up to be Aquaman.
Somebody save me.
Oh, who sings that?
Smallville was a good show for the first 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And then it stopped being a good show.
Well, he had to go to college, right? So
yeah. And the actor for Lex Luthor was really good, and the how they interconnected the characters was done really well. But then it kind of fell off. It got too deep into like magic and witchcraft and all that stuff. And then then that one lady was involved in a cult, got kicked off the show.
Right.
Yeah. She just got out of prison too.
I'm gonna say the talent level on that show for Pretty Women was really, really high. They nailed it, and the fact that you can get a girl that wants to be involved in a sex cult on a major TV show. Hey, I'm up for it. I'm here.
I'm all in.
I'm all in. I'm all in on it. And then finally, our final guy to play Aquaman, of course, is the blockbuster breaking Jason Momoa, who Alex and I saw the Aquaman movie live at the Smithsonian on the IMAX. And when he comes on the submarine, every lady cheered for him in the audience. It was astounding. There was just a clapping when he came on. And I will say, of the Snyderverse things, he's by far been my favorite. His introduction in Justice League was probably the best part of those movies, with him bringing fish to the Scandinavians. His Aquaman movie is the best, with his debut that makes ladies cheer when he jumps on a sub. And so much so, when I looked up the worldwide grosses, he has the highest grossing movie of all them worldwide. US-wide, the other ones may have grossed more, but worldwide, the first Aquaman has made nearly $1.2 billion.
Wow. So more than Justice League?
Yes. And it's because ladies cheer when he gets on a submarine.
Yeah. I thought he was a good choice to cast as Aquaman. He's, definitely, he's obviously he has a different look than the comic book Aquaman, but, Jason Momoa is cool, and that's enough.
Well, even like going through the looks of Aquaman, I think storylines always, I think, what do you call it? Oscillate, go through different
permutations.
Yeah.
I'd say like Jason Momoa is like the young adult, like kind of rough. That's why he's drinking all the beer. Kind of, he hasn't hit his. He's not the mid age or not the 30-year-old Aquaman yet. I would say he's like the post college 25 Aquaman.
Yeah, he's the long-haired, bearded Aquaman they find in a cave.
Biker Aquaman.
Yeah, Biker Aquaman.
There you go.
Riding around on a jet ski instead of a Harley.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, if they just made Harley jet skis.
I think they did once.
Why did they stop?
and why isn't Jason Momoa riding one in Aquaman?
Right.
They may not have. I feel like I forget. No, because I think Harley was bought by AMC for a time, and then they kind of did some experimental things, and that may have been one of the. Maybe they didn't do it, but yeah.
Alex, you being an Aquaman fan and a Harley fan, you should wear your Aquaman costume sometime and ride around on the Harley.
It would probably melt. It would.
But you may get attention from Jason Momoa, who should have been on this episode with us to discuss this, and all the praise we heaped on him in his $1.2 billion gross earnings. Okay. Do you want to do the fifth day, or do you want me to try to do it here?
I feel like you're. I'm gonna let you do this one, Jeremiah.
Okay. All right. This is the best one. This is the reason we're doing 12 Days Aquaman.
I'll try to come in at the end if I can give you backup.
You do the back end. You do the back end. So
okay.
On the 5th day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics sent to me 5 gone fingers.
For a Gold Harpoon.
Perfect.
All right, good.
So to make him edgy and to bring on a new element, Peter David in issue 2 of his 1994 run had Aquaman lose a hand to the villain Charybdis when Charybdis ordered a bunch of piranhas to eat it off.
Yeah, kind of out of nowhere too.
Yes.
I mean, they teased the piranhas in the first issue, but you just didn't really expect it to happen in the second issue. And he just had they ate everything but the bones. He had all the bones left.
He couldn't.
He was weakened, and Charybdis had stolen most of his powers, and through blood transfusion. Okay. So yeah, he couldn't do it. And as Aquaman said, he just got sloppy. And being now the new brooding and angry Aquaman, he's just like, just give me a hook, give me a harpoon. And the harpoon goes through iterations. It starts as a harpoon that's just strapped into his flesh. Then it goes into Atlantean technology where he gets a grappling hook effect with it. And then eventually he gets a water hand.
Yeah.
And then he gets his hand all the way brought back. And supposedly when they did the new 52 or sometime, they have a storyline after that with Black Manta cutting his hand off. But I have not read that one. So I only know the original.
Me either.
And in Justice League, the cartoon, I rewatched it. He, in the first appearance of the Justice League 2000 cartoon, he also loses his hand in the first episode he appears in. And he just gets all
right away, they're like, get his hand.
To make him edgy. And I think they're teasing at that to happen in the new Aquaman movie.
I was going to say, I feel like it's Jason Momoa, I think, emulates that version of Aquaman, longer hair.
Okay, so I found in Brightest Day number 19, Aquaman is fighting Siren and Black Manta when he gets his hand chopped off again.
Yes. And I assume he says, no, not again.
It's a different continuity at that point, right?
And if he just had, Rebel technology, he could have got a fully working hand like Skywalker.
I know. Ooh, it's a clean chop off though.
Yeah.
With Black Manta.
So it's a Vader move.
It's very Vader. Yeah.
You cauterize it at the same time with the beam.
But no, they made him edgy. It was interesting. I remember reading this in the 90s. I was like, whoa, they're really pushing Aquaman to be something different. And they're just like, Peter David, do whatever the hell you want with the character. He's like, I'm going to cut off his hand. They're like, it's Aquaman. We don't care. Just do it. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, but he's going to be the biggest draw in Smallville, season 5 onward, right?
Yeah. I put it in the doc, his hand cut off by Black Manta. Way over on the right.
Oh yeah. That's a good clean cut. But no, and yeah, the lead-in comic for the new movie, Charybdis makes an appearance in it, so I think they're leading up to him losing his hand. That brings us to the 6th day, which is maybe my second greatest thing KMac and I wrote. So I came back to this day.
On the 6th day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics sent to me 6 girls a laying. You're the worst.
So the 6 women loves of Aquaman. And technically we have an alternate if we needed to, but I chose the 6th favorite of them. And so this is in place of 6 geese a laying. We got Aquaman's a sexy man, so he's got to get 6 girls a laying. So we all know Mera, the princess of Xebel, which was the water dimensional kingdom she came from in certain ones, and then they got transformed into the movies, being one of the 7 kingdoms and all that. We know all about Mera. Amber Heard lives her up. Appeared in most of the comic appearances, most of the live action appearances, all the animation appearances, so a big one. Then we have Esther Maris, who is a reporter in San Diego. He has a little bit of a fling with.
That's when San Diego becomes Sub Diego, right?
Yes.
When it's sunken.
Sub Diago.
Diago.
Now, have you ever read any of those, Alex? I have not read any of the stories of Esther. Okay.
No. Wait. Esther. Is that from the? I don't recall the name. No. I feel like I would have remembered that.
I think she only has like a 10-issue run or something as the girlfriend, and he's kind of rebounding hard.
Oh yeah, maybe.
It's the one I know the least about. And then the next one I knew the most. I knew a lot about because this is the one that Peter David set up, and right off the get-go in the 90s, Dolphin. Everybody's girl about that salt life, always wearing the Daisy Dukes and the cut-off shirts. So basically, everybody KMac sees on his drive to work could be Dolphin.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. The first appearance I remember of her, I think, is in Crisis on Infinite Earths when she's just paired with some other random heroes on a quest to do something that never materializes, if I'm correct.
They're in outer space.
Challengers of the unknown, and
they're in outer space, and I believe it's Rip Hunter. So it's like the Heroes of Tomorrow. So it's Rip Hunter, her, I believe Adam Strange, but they're in outer space on Brainiac's ship, and you know what she's wearing?
Oh yeah, what she always wears, her
cut-off shorts and a tank top.
And so she's an alien. She's not human, right? Is that what I'm remembering?
Her various origin story, she's either an alien or she's genetically modified human to breathe water and stuff, and she has certain water powers also. And I believe the one, when she gets with it in Peter David, she's still the alien in that one.
Yeah, that's what I remember from that one too.
But she eventually leaves Aquaman to go for Garth, Aqualad, Tempest, and makes a baby with him instead.
Oh, good for Garth! Wow,
yeah.
He's batting above his average there. Wow.
It's not too hard if Garth has access to meth, right?
True. He's one of those DC sidekicks.
Yes.
Him and Speedy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All the speeds.
Yeah.
And the next one is Kako, who is technically, I believe, supposed to be Aquaman's first human love. And she is an Inuit girl that he eventually sires a child with. Kako, we'll get to the son, who gets his powers from Aquaman also, but Kako is love in the Time and Tide series, and then remixed appearance in the Peter David run early on to talk about the son they have.
And I think Time and Tide was also written by Peter David.
Yes. And then she eventually gets powers herself, becoming some type of elemental character. Of
course.
Of
course, do you know how they got together? They were playing baseball in the snow.
Were they?
They sure were. Just as you would expect from Aquaman.
And an Inuit girl.
And an Inuit girl, yes. What could Aquaman be doing? Baseball in the snow. Perfect.
So the obvious is, you know what Aquaman's favorite team is, right? Baseball team.
Go. Tell
the
us.
Mariners. Come on, guys.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's too easy. Come on.
I expect
it's either that or the Rays, maybe, or the Marlins. You got three options.
I expect more intellectual humor from Yek. So, like,
I wasn't. I thought that would be the answer, but I was like,
but I mean, you could have said the Rays, or you could have said the Marlins. And then the next one is a unique one that only happens in a post-apocalyptic future when he bangs Wonder Woman in the Flashpoint saga. If you haven't read the Flashpoint in the comic books, you can see the DC animated cartoon, which is great because
it's really good.
This is the one where Aquaman gets super violent and Wonder Woman gets super violent. But they end up solving a mission together, and then they end up banging, and then Mera comes in and gets all upset, so Wonder Woman cuts off Mera's head.
Yeah. So there's supposed to be an Aquaman Wonder Woman wedding to unite Atlantis and Themyscira, but then everything goes wrong, and there's an Atlantis Amazonian war that's kind of ravaging the world. So it's a pretty cool story. It's you don't really they haven't really done that in an alternate timeline before.
Yeah, if you haven't read Flashpoint, Alex, you got to
It's a good read.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely sounds interesting right now.
And then the final love, and it's Aquaman's first love from his strange post-crisis origin, where he's growing up with a dolphin mom in a dolphin pod. He falls in love with Nera, the dolphin, as his first love.
Oh. Oh God.
Huh. Interesting.
And Peter David doesn't really. Peter David does some talks about this in Time and Tide, but they don't really show if they ever do anything together. But Nera teaches. Nera's the one that teaches him how to fish better and those things. So
Yeah, dolphins are supposed to be super horny, so it makes sense.
well, I mean, yeah, if you've ever seen the drunk history about the lady, the dolphin researcher that gives the hand jobs to dolphins, and the dolphins like love hanging out with her. And they got government research money.
It's like the reverse of that.
Yes.
It's like the inverse of that with Aquaman, apparently.
Can they get research money for that? I would pay research money for that to train dolphins to give HJs. That's the future, right? The smartest of the sea mammals. And our alternate for this was Yawara, who they allude to maybe they hooked up as in the others, but I didn't get to read the others comics, but I assume they hooked up. Oh, can you confirm or not confirm?
There was definitely tension there, and I think it was like one of those. I would need to reread it, but because I think Mera's also in there too. No, I think it may have been one of those like leverage moves Aquaman made. Like, I'm going to show affection towards somebody else.
Such an Aquaman move.
Yeah.
Such a king of the sea move.
And then that might not be in the
subtext.
Sounds good.
But there's another one though that one of the later issues in the New 52. Siren makes an appearance.
Yeah, the twin sister of Mera.
But at the time,
she's pretending to be Mera, right?
Yeah. So he kind of gets the
so I knew
she gets the harpoon. You're saying?
So obviously a mistake to have Aquaman Alex on here, who ruined our 6th day by adding another.
Well, we did an alternate. We've got our numbers worked out.
I'm just kidding.
Well, no, because it's 7.
Yeah,
7 seasons.
Yeah,
the next one. What happens from all this?
We're going to let you sing in here in a second. But canonically, on the Comic Books and Cold Ones, there's only 6 loves and a couple side chicks that we don't care about.
Well, yeah. Technically, he didn't know.
Supposed to be. Yeah, it was Mera in his mind, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
perfect.
That's right.
I'm so glad we brought you on here, Aquaman Alex.
I also like the fact that Mera's name is Mera, and his first love being a dolphin's Nera. And
oh yeah, not over his first love. I see where you're going.
Yeah, but
can you make a hard water dolphin for me, Mera?
I think. Oh my gosh, I feel like they probably tease that in a lot of the. I was reading one of them today, and like I was looking in the background images, like you have like the things in the background, the foreground. And there's like a little, like couple panels with like a small subplot going on, where like they're at a basically like a crime scene, and they're investigating, and there's like a tentacle left over or something, and the crime scene investigators like you see him in the background picking it up, and then it moves on them, and then they freak out, and then like in the next panel, and it was just like I'm like, how often does this happen, and do I need to be paying more attention to?
Yeah, the really great artists always have things playing in the background that kind of allude to things, and you can see it going on. I'm on to my second holiday beer here. I'm doing me a Shiner holiday cheer here that was given to me by one Aquaman Alex.
Oh, nice.
So
cool. Yeah, I haven't gotten my beer from Aquaman Alex yet, but I'm waiting.
But
yeah,
in the mail.
Shipping's really tough this year.
I'll be waiting for it.
But to make up for it, Alex, you get to do the 7th day here.
Yeah. I gotta scroll back up to make sure I get the lyrics right. Where is it? Yeah. On the 7th day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics said to me, 7 seas a-Sloshing. But
We use kingdoms.
we use kingdoms.
There we go.
I wanted to use, we gotta use the 7 seas, but everybody knows the 7 seas. And I had to do seas because the real lyric is 7 swans a swimming, and I couldn't let that go with a water themed character.
And I totally
Yeah.
love
Couldn't
that.
let it go. And we could do the 7 seas, which are like the North South Atlantic, the North South Pacific, the Arctic Ocean, the Indian Ocean. But instead, we are going to deal with the kingdoms that premiere in the Aquaman movie, and that's what we're going to promote. So there's, of course, the number 1 kingdom being Atlantis, number 2 being Xebel, which we talked about where Mera's from, the kingdom of the Fisherman, which has the Triton characters, so they're the humanoids with fish lower halves, the kingdom of the Brine, which are the crustacean peoples, the kingdom of the Trench, which are the long lost, buried in the ocean, devolved fish people that just devour everything they can. There's the kingdom of the deserters, which they go visit, but they never see any of them. They're the people that left Atlantis and didn't sink. So they went to the desert, and they're still part of the kingdom. And then finally, what is covered in the new movie coming up is the Lost Kingdom. And I saw some place online, it's called Valor. But as any good listener of Comics and Cold Ones knows, the real Lost Kingdom in the DC comic universe of Atlantis is the Kingdom of Skartaris.
Yes. And Shambhala.
And Shambhala, which is in the middle of the earth and a dimension somehow where all Atlantean technology, where they went away before everything crashed. And it is the realm of the Warlord. And if we get to see Warlord in this movie, I will be jacked.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would make it worthwhile.
Because I want to see a guy in a loincloth, leopard loincloth, with a 45 pistol running around.
Oh, God.
But
yeah, they in the new 52 they mentioned I think Thule as, and I think that might be the what sounds like the kingdom of
Okay.
the deserters. But I don't know. I don't think it's another kingdom. It's just like early Atlanteans were driven out of Atlantis by King Atlan, and then they mirrored Atlantis in this other dimension, and then it came back and started to destroy the Earth, and then the Justice League and Aquaman had to
shut that shit
destroy
down.
it. Yeah.
So yeah, the articles I read online, yeah, those are the ones that people would outline. And they do visit the kingdom of the deserters in the first movie when they go to the Sahara Desert and they play Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Or Uncharted, or it's more romancing the Stones, right? It's more romancing the Stones situation because you got Mera and him wearing dungarees, and
Ooh,
he basically
dungarees. What are you in 1982? Goodness gracious! Yeah,
Who wears
dungarees.
But he actually looks like he's in a bad holiday in the Caribbean wedding. It's like a Caribbean wedding outfit that he's got on.
The fact that you said dungarees just has me stunned. Who are you?
Going deep dive on this deep Atlantis episode.
So on Wikipedia, there's a kingdom that we didn't mention, but it just looks awesome. It's called Kingdom of the Rights, and it's a kingdom consisting of humanoid sea otters with the ability to breathe underwater. Now, they better have that in the movie too. That would be badass.
The Eighth Kingdom.
The Eighth Lost Kingdom.
Definitely. But of the kingdoms in the movie that you saw, what was your guys' favorite of those that?
Probably Atlantis proper. I thought they did a really good job with Atlantis proper.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was even thinking today before this, I was like, I feel like with the way film and superhero movies are done now, like you see the behind the scenes and it's all green screen, and with everything being a lot of CGI generation, and then like being able to emulate the effects of water around everybody, I think like, and then the sound too. Like I can only imagine what this is going to sound like in
Yeah, how do
in
they keep
theater.
the hair thing that's always kind of bugged me. Like when it like everybody's just like yeah, eventually it goes down slowly. So they got that part right. Like, it does rest on your head when you're underwater, but it takes a while for it to go down, right? It doesn't, when you move up and down, yeah.
Yeah. Well, now you got CGI and you also have AI
Hair correct for
to.
people under Atlantis. Well, you were both wrong. Xebel is the best kingdom because any kingdom that can have Ivan Drago rule over it's got to be the best one. After losing to Rocky, he goes
True.
to go underwater to become king of Xebel and has Amber Heard as his daughter. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Like, because you thought he died, but he didn't.
He got broken, right?
All right, so we're moving on to the 8th day now.
8th day.
All right, is that me?
I'll let you sing it.
All right. On the 8th day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics sent to me 8 menaces a meddling.
So these are the 8 biggest villains in Aquaman, according to rank that I could find online. And it's in place of 8 maids of milking, so 8 menaces of meddling.
Yep.
Thought I did a pretty good job on that one. So
I think you did a very good job. Well done.
thank you for the pat on the fin, on the dorsal fin. So the first one is the shark, or also known as Karshan. He's not King Shark. There's like a bunch of different shark people in the DC universe. This is the shark who is a shark that gets mutated into a humanoid. And he starts out as a Green Lantern villain, and then he goes on to being a super duper Aquaman villain.
Oh, what's the difference between him and King Shark? They look the same.
They look pretty much the same, but King Shark is the
king of that guy,
son of a woman and a shark god.
Oh.
Whereas the shark starts out as an actual shark and retains all his shark instincts. And so all he wants to do is hunt things. And he's got to keep moving.
All right.
The next one is the hardest one to describe, but it appears multiple times in weird situations. It's Thanatos, who is Aquaman's evil doppelganger that may only be in his mind. And he appears in the original 60s run as a guy when Aquaman goes to the land and gets captured by some regular gangster thugs who turned out to be the same gangster thugs who kidnapped Mera like 2 years earlier and had the epic Quest for a Mera run. But they've developed a brainwashing machine where they're brainwashing people and stealing money from them. But Aquaman is such strong-willed, he doesn't go. But turns out, though, it wasn't just a brainwashing machine. Whatever they used, it actually opened a dimension to an evil world. So there's an evil doppelganger dimension where Thanatos lives, and he eventually adopts the blue suit that Aquaman gives up from the.
That's what I was going to say. He's wearing the blue suit.
Yes.
When does he get the Infinity Gauntlet or no?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. That's the story I want to see.
Yes. He influenced the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
But anytime you see it, you don't know whether he exists or not, or just Aquaman's mind. You know it's going to be a trippy ball story when he appears, because. And one of in the first appearance of him, Aquaman ends up in a old west town in Atlantis, rustic, and has a spear gun drawing match with Thanatos.
Oh wow!
This is the 60s, right? So people were doing all types of crazy shit. Yes,
they weren't 6-shooters.
Spear gun 6-shooters. And then the next ones are the Scavenger, who's an underwater criminal who steals things, of course. Appears in the cartoon in the 60s all the way upwards and eventually gets dead, I think, or lives on. He appears in the New 52 right afterwards, I think, some of those comics. Also. Any comments on him, Alex? Good villain, bad villain?
No, I actually just reached his introduction. Because, yeah, I'm on 51 of the 52, so I know the new 50.
Is he like a poor man's Black Manta, or
basically?
Yeah, no. The introduction to him, he's more established, I think. Black Manta, I think the origin story of that in the New 52 is his his father was like a deep sea scavenger diver, and then there was a storm, and then Aquaman accidentally killed his father, and then Black Manta's pissed, and somehow they become friends though. So I think he saves them, and then they drop, say, throw down their tridents or spears. And
Yeah, he's basically like an undersea repo man, right? Where Manta's a pirate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the next one is a classic 60s villain that continually got updated in the Fisherman, when he also appears in the cartoon and also appears in the comics from the 60s onwards, has multiple iterations. But when he starts out, he really is a villain with a fishing rod and different types of lures to try to catch things. And he's just got an international criminal. And he, of course, the ultimate villain to Aquaman would be a fisherman, right?
Makes perfect sense. I remember having this Who's Who with him in it, because his early outfit is crazy. He has those big fisherman boots on. You need those. You need those.
You're gonna take on an Aquaman, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because I've seen, at least in the comic book, Aquaman offer fish to fish.
Yeah.
So it's is he really protecting the fish, or is he just what's his Aquaman lure? What's his?
Well, he's got a variety. I'm it depends on what Aquaman's biting on that day, right? It depends on the weather conditions, the light, the wind on the water, the weather, all those things when fish are biting. Aquaman's just like that. Sometimes he'll go for the shad wrap. Other times you got to go live bait. You got to go live worm. Just wiggling out there for Aquaman.
Yeah, I know you like to fish, so
yeah. Well, I may have been designing my own lures to catch Atlanteans. The worst is most Atlanteans, you like fish, you catch them in the lip, but unlike fish, you catch them in some other parts that are dangling along, and that's just not as good. It's just not as pretty, Still a catch though.
Like on Fandom, one of his abilities is fishing. It's perfect. I would hope so.
Hey, if it was easy, they call it catching.
But in Infinite Crisis, he does go off in Gotham. He's part of a crew, and he goes off and he just starts killing one of the iterations of it. Just starts killing Gotham police officers until he gets shot in the street. He's just out there with his lure, just ripping faces off. It's pretty rough. Even the Riddler's like, yeah, you've gone crazy. I got to get out of here. This is too much for me. The next character is one of the big bads. It's Kordak, who's an ancient king that gets reimagined over the years. But he is the one that establishes the curse of Kordak, where any Atlantean burned with blonde hair needs to be exposed in that timeline, because he is born with blonde hair, but he's also a fish-formed humanoid, and he has the ability to control fish just like Aquaman, and he ends up having really longevity, gets magic, because all Atlanteans, there's either artifacts or magic, most Atlanteans, and so he goes on to be a big bad over the years, raising armies and such against Aquaman appearing. The second one is probably, Aquaman has, probably two tiers of, two twin bad guys. And usually people rate this guy second. And that, of course, is the Ocean Master, his half-brother, Orm Marius, played by Patrick Wilson in the movies.
Yep.
Appears multiple times and has my infinite sympathy as a half-brother. They just do him wrong all the time.
Yeah, that is kind of true.
And I also like the fact that, here he is, raising up, going to be king of Atlantis. He's like, what am I call myself? And so he's like a 10-year-old kid. He's like, I'm the fucking Ocean Master.
Yeah.
That's how creative he is.
Yeah, it's not the best code name.
But when you're born with the name Orm, right?
Yeah. What are you going to do?
You when you go to the truck stops as a kid as an Orm, and you're like, I want to get the little license plate thing, a little keychain with my name on it, and you're looking around, there's no Orm.
Never an Orm.
I mean, your parents set you up to be the ocean master then, right? You had no other choice. And rate his costume. You guys like his costume? Movie, in the comics.
In the comics, it's like he's trying to be Strife, but he's not quite spiky enough. He should add more spikes. More spikes.
We put some on his trident instead, right?
Yeah, I think
He does, but more spikes.
Yeah, no, I think they did a good job emulating that in the movie. Obviously, I think they try to make it look a little bit more sleek. But I don't know. I always like the whenever they take the scenes of the Atlanteans coming above, like to the surface world, and they have like the reverse air suit, and it's just like water floating around. It's always good.
No, the purple and silver I like a lot. I think it's a good combo that's underutilized. I like that. And then finally, the big bad, the original villain that appears in everything. Even I was amazed they got him in the '60s cartoon, because usually back in the day they just made up villains, but they had Black Manta in the original '60s cartoon. He looked like Black Manta. David Hyde, who's gone through various iterations also over the Silver Age and everything. But my favorite is, I believe it's his post-crisis one, where his backstory is, as an African American, he feels oppressed on Earth, which not untrue in America, and so he decides that African Americans need to quest and establish their own kingdom under the sea to beat oppression.
I remember reading that too. Yeah,
that's in the Who's Who.
That's a great motivator.
Yes. But no, sleekest looking costume, greatest voice on Super Friends, Legion of Doom. When he talks.
Yeah, he has a great costume, and I really like, when they redesigned it. I think just a little bit. I guess they just tweaked it in the Jeff Johns book. They made the eyes a lot bigger, and I like that look with the big red eyes.
I'm impressed they went for it in the movies. Just went all out and like we're not messing with the costume. We're not gonna make this sleeker, and we're gonna Batman movie this and make it look different, like make it realistic kind of looking in the world. Like, no, he's gonna have a big domey looking hat that looks like a diver head, and like they make it from a diver's mask. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that instead.
Well, yeah, and then they say, the reason they give a good reason for it being big too. Like he's like, they got to condense all that power. He's like, this is the best we can do. So like, yeah.
No, I think
that's a great scene too, when he's developing the thing and he's like looking at it.
He almost blows up his arm and his house out. Yeah. So. Yeah. No, overall, I really like the style and everything with Black Manta, man. Whatever his goal is. Whether it is an Undersea kingdom for his people or not.
Yeah, definitely one of the better character designs, I think, too.
Okay, I'm moving on to the 9th day here. On the 9th day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics sent to me 9 powers synchronizing. That's in place of 9 ladies dancing. Because what kind of dancing do you do in the water, kids?
You do synchronized swimming. Yes.
Caught all of it again.
Yeah, I gotta say, you are really good at this. I'm glad I leave you in charge of all of this.
So, Aquaman may have more than 9 powers, but we break it down, I think, into the tightest bit of 9 powers that he has that appears in the comics and elsewhere. So, of course, number 1 being that he can breathe underwater. Number 2, he's a super swimmer, right? Because you know why?
Yeah.
He went to the U. So,
yes,
right.
Miami style.
It's all about the speed at the U. And now a power most people don't know is, since under the water it gets really, really dark when it gets really, really deep. So he can see in the dark. He's got night vision.
Oh, cool.
Number 4 is his skin is very, very thick. And they even show this in the movie. They show other things. So he's bulletproof, but also his thick skin makes him heat resistant, cold resistant, and pressure resistant for doing deep dives.
Not thick enough to avoid your hand getting cut off, though.
No.
So.
Or getting eaten off. So it's like it's basically, you know, he could withstand a mallet, but paper cuts, no. Paper cuts, that's the reason they hurt so much more. They're so fine.
Yeah.
It's the fine cuts that get him, you know.
Imagine how, those must hurt him so bad. Like, that's the way to defeat Aquaman. It's like 1,000 little pieces of paper.
Which is hard to do underwater, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's
too smart.
It's soggy.
You can't beat me with paper underwater.
Imagine if he got a paper cut from cardboard, though. Imagine how much that would hurt him. Oh, boy. Yikes.
Out for weeks.
Yeah.
Number 5, he's got super endurance. So he's been, as Alex pointed out, training in a medium that's 4 times as dense as air for his whole life. So he can outlast most people. And his love life proves that. And so...
At least 6.
Maybe more. Some alternates. Also, because he's swimming in the water the whole time, he's super strong. Strong enough that he's punched Superman and Superman's felt it. Strong enough that he's, you know, pierced Darkseid's chest using the trident with enough power. He can jump like the Hulk, basically, also. So, pretty impressive. Number 7, of course, is the biggest one that people make fun of. But I've generalized it because he doesn't just talk to fish. He's technically a telepath.
Yeah.
Who has some level of telepathic ability to talk to even humans at some level. And he can talk to fish on foreign planets also, which is pretty cool. And he, like in the Brave and the Bold, and Aquaman, Batman, Brave and the Bold, he goes to Ran with Adam Strange, and he commands the Iranian underwater animals. And then there's like sea creatures on Mars. I don't remember if you remember this KMac reading DC 1 million, but there's like still sea creatures on the dry parts of Mars he can control and things like that had origins.
Yeah, in that one story where the Justice League got sent to the future, he got sent to a water planet, and he could communicate with all the sea life on that planet as well.
Yeah, that's DC 1 million.
Is that DC 1 million? All right.
Yeah. And then also he has at point the alternate of what the Swamp Thing has access to the green. He has access to the clear, which is all life in the sea, basically. He gets visions and he can see for them and access to it. Number 8, he can make water balls.
Like he can just pick up water and throw it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he does a little thing with his hands really fast, and he makes it like a water ball, and he can throw it.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, like agitates it.
He does this in the cartoon. On Smallville, he does this. I think he does it in the movie, too, one or two times, right? Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Oh, no, he does in the animated movie. He does that a couple of times to Superman, I think. Just throws water balls. Because he likes to throw his balls. and finally, at one time, he has the power of flight given to him by the god Poseidon in one of the new 52 stories. And I think also the Flashpoint series, he weirdly has the ability to fly. Don't know why.
Yeah, that one they sort of snuck up on me because I was like, why is he floating above the water? Like, I was like, it's like, did they make a mistake? Did they forget to animate? Like,
does this get through editorial?
Yeah. They're like, Submariner is cool. Let's let Aquaman fly too.
But yeah, no, he gets the powers of Poseidon in one of the issues, and it's to help fight that.
Oh, okay, that's when the Thulian aliens come down.
Oh,
yeah.
And also, I think they also explain the flight aspect with like that resistance thing. He's like, if he swims from water to air, he kind of like blasts out of it. So it's kind of like Superman's, like when he was first, I guess, created, he didn't necessarily fly, but he could jump really far. I think that kind of borderlines the flight thing.
So yeah, just like Superman had to learn how to fly. He always had the power to fly. He just didn't know how exactly
Well,
to swim in air.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not really swimming in there. I think he just launches himself out, and he can like launch himself like farther.
That makes sense. Physics backs that up.
Yeah. The logic is there.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
All right. Which is your favorite power other than, the classic of breathing underwater and then talking to fish?
I didn't know the night vision one. I like that. That's I don't know. I think that one's just surprising. So that one's like
And they haven't played that up on him being on land yet, where like he goes to Gotham or something, and he's like he can see everything that's going. And they got to do that sometime. Like, and only Batman knows about it. Like, so nobody's ever else thought about it. So.
Of course, only Batman knows about it.
Yeah, got that supercomputer.
Yeah, the one on the Aquacave doesn't work very often because it's always shorting out.
That's the other thing. Yeah, what's power in that thing?
Oh yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be.
Yeah, whatever powers Atlantis.
Electric eels. It's got to be electric eels just swimming around.
Oh, that too. Yeah, he's just got a bank of electric eels.
Okay, we're on the 10th day. Do you want to hit this one up, KMac?
Sure thing. Here we go. On the 10th day of Aquaman-Mas DC Comics sent to me, 10 relatives are relating. So we got 10 Aquaman relatives or so.
Of the ones we have not already mentioned, one was a villain, one was his wife, so we don't count those in this one. It's in place of 10 Lords Leaping, and I tried my damnedest to be like 10 Atlantean Lords, because they're all royal family members almost, but I couldn't pull it off. I just couldn't figure out how to get it in there. Yeah. So we are going through all the origins, including all the family, and we are including his wards also, who are pretty much adopted family.
Yeah, his adopted family. I agree.
Yeah. So we have a first Thomas Curry, his human dad that runs a lighthouse, Golden and Silver Age. You may also know him as Jango Fett. And
yes, that's right.
So you knew he was going to be a great warrior when his dad's Jango Fett, right? So
yeah, training is outstanding.
And I do like the casting of I can't think of that actor's name right now. If somebody can get it for me, but he's actually Maori and Polynesian, just like Jason Momoa is Hawaiian Polynesian. So they kind of thought that one through a little bit, I think. So
Mera Morrison.
Yeah. So they thought it through a little bit to say, hey, yeah, this kid could be the daughter of the greatest bounty hunter on the world and also the greatest doctor in NASCAR history.
Yeah, it makes sense. or one of the people to get free land in Oklahoma.
Yes, also gets a lot of free land in Oklahoma. Yeah. So far and away.
That is far and away. Far and away the best reference of the show.
So there's Thomas Curry, and then there's his Golden Age dad, his post-crisis dad, who is Arthur Curry, who also Aquaman's Arthur Curry, and he just gives Aquaman his name on his deathbed when he has to go in the real world and no longer be protected by Arthur Curry and bringing him fish all day. It's a little weird. He also has his post-crisis real dad, which is Atlan, the wizard. Also in the movie, Atlan's the historical king of Atlantis that made the Trident, the historic famous king. Atlan appears multiple times as that historic king. If he ever has a mother, so it's Golden Age, they never mention a mother. So as far as we can tell, maybe Thomas Curry bred him under the ocean too.
That's a little weird, yeah.
So I almost did unknown mother here also, but I didn't. So he has, Atlanna, who's played by the lovely Nicole Kidman in the movies, and pretty much his mother's whole time the reason he's royalty. He also has a stepsister, Tula, who leads the elite soldiers of the Drift. She is the stepsister through Orm's father, who got with Atlanna. That's their connection. and she always sides with Aquaman over Orm. So I consider her more real sister than Orm is. Than we don't have brother and everything. And then we have the tragic story of the Aqua Baby, who's from the Golden Age, who is Arthur Curry Jr., who Black Manta kills.
Yep. Yep. Straight up murder.
Straight murders a baby.
And that was in the 70s too, wasn't it? So that was comics code and everything was in full effect back then. So
that leads to a little bit of a thing called a divorce and breakup with Mera, because he goes on a revenge tour to take down Black Manta. And
Mera kind of has a mental breakdown too.
Yes,
she becomes a villain after that for a little while.
Yeah. But straight up, so in the comic books, there's literally a baby they call Aqua Baby. That's they don't call him Arthur Curry Jr. They're just like, hey, Aqua Baby. And in one of the issues I was reading, like Aqua Baby, Ocean Master gets him. He's like, hey, I got Aqua Baby, and they're like, put down Aqua Baby. He's like, I am putting down Aqua Baby, motherfuckers. I got Aqua Baby. He just happens to get swim to him because he's like, Ocean Master, you look so cool with your costume. The baby's like, I know. I'm the pimpest.
So I think, we've planted a seed here, and if Aquaman Alex ever has children, or I don't know if he does already, but like Aqua Baby will be the name of the next born.
Yes.
Has to be.
Maybe like a middle name situation.
Middle names work because you can go by your middle name too. Just you don't have to go by your first name.
That's right.
No, AB, man.
Yeah. Steve, Aqua Baby, whatever.
So it's just a preview. Also in the movie, we find out, in the new one coming out, we know Mera is pregnant from the comic book. That's how it ends, with the preview comic book going into it. So there is going to be an Aqua Baby in the new movie coming out. We know that for certain. Or at least the baby in the tummy, we don't know for certain. I assume bad things are going to happen with Black Manta. We have Aquaman's second son from Kako, and it's Korak, who's half, Inuit kid and Aquaman kid. So he's like is that a quarter Atlantean then? Yeah. If I did my numbers right.
Yeah.
But he inherits the ability to swim, super strong, and all those things, and he gets raised by his mom without knowing Aquaman is who he is, because Aquaman doesn't know that his mother survives a horrible thing that happens to her in the north.
Just afterwards. Yeah.
Yes.
Just
and it goes
post-conception.
And then Korak becomes a villain at times and not a villain at times until they get rid of him with the reboots in the New 52. This one I don't know as much about it, so I'm going to ask you, Alex. Idrina Andy Curry, so that's his daughter in the new current timeline. I don't know if you've read anything with her in it yet. Yeah.
No. But you mean the new?
Yeah, it's after rebirth and all those things. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I have not gotten caught up in that. I saw those when I was looking through DC, and I'm like, that's how I stumbled across all this other stuff. I'm like, man, they really expanded a lot of Aquaman.
They've added on to. Well, I like the fact that they're like, no, we don't want to bring back Aqua Baby because everybody's going to be reminded that Aqua Baby got murdered. We got to get a new kid.
Yeah. Apparently, they call her Aqualass.
Ah.
I don't know if that's much better than Aqua Baby.
But... She's Scottish. I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. She probably has red hair.
Yes. Like Mera. Yeah. Mera's the Scottish version of Atlantis. So. And then we have the two wards, the most famous, of course, being Aqualad, Tempest Garth, who appears in everything, nicknamed Tadpole in the classic series, which I don't really understand that, because there aren't tadpoles in the ocean, right?
Right.
It's
not a fish.
There's no frogs or toads in the ocean, are there? Maybe someone can tell me wrong. Are there ocean toads? This is going back to, I'm not a marine biologist.
No, we know you're a marine biologist. We heard that.
I know about the fact that I know about dolphin teats, but Aquaman Alex is on it. And then finally, we close it out with the second Aqua lad, who was the son of Black Manta, Jackson Hyde, who has hard water powers, just like Mera, and he has blonde hair also. So he gets adopted kind of by Aquaman and not at times. If you've ever watched the Young Justice series, you know, he plays both sides a little bit, but he's loyal to the good guys. If I remember right, yeah, his mother's Atlantean, and he gets the curse of the blonde hair also. So
you're out of here. So it appears toads and frogs cannot live in salt water. What did you find, Alex?
I can confirm that with my search as well.
So confirmed terrible nickname.
So all those family members just hanging around, and there's probably more that I could have gone on to, but I didn't dive deep enough. We could have included Lagoon Boy, who ends up kind of being another ward, but those are the ones that I think are really the Aqua family. We are Aqua family. All my sisters with me.
All my fishes with me.
All my fishes. There we go.
Trying to recall Garth's impacts in the New 52, and I think he probably was right around the midsection, and that's the part I know the least about because it's been a while since I read those. But I know more recently he came back, and he was more aligned with Mera though. But I feel like they never really gave Aquaman a side. Actually no, they may have had him be more of a sidekick role when I forget what issue it was, but it was. I think it may have been against Black Manta earlier on.
Yeah, the sidekicks, they've tried to get away with them, rid of them, except for Robin, right? Like DC Comics is Green Arrow. Speedy grew up to be Arsenal. You know, the original Robin grew up to be Nightwing, and Aqualad became Tempest.
Then second Robin grew up to be Red Hood. The third Robin grew up to be Red Robin. So there's so many Robins. Too many Robins.
But they can't swim.
No.
Birds can't swim.
And then I will move on now to Beyond the Family, to the 11th day. On the 11th day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics sent to me 11 appellations announcing. So an appellation is a nickname or name in place of things, and this is in place of 11 pipers piping.
For someone from the
yes
region in the Mid-Atlantic.
Those are appellations.
Yeah.
I was confused too, so not alone.
Wait, the mountains aren't not that mountain range in this.
I dug deep into the thesaurus for this one. Damn it.
11 thesauruses.
When we do the books, 12 Days of Booksmiths, thesaurus will have that day. So these are all the main nicknames other than Aquaman of our superhero that I could find. Of course, his first one being his real name, Arthur Curry, that he's been given multiple times, and all three of his origins. And
I like the Arthur because it's like King Arthur. They can draw a lot on that comparison. Yeah, I like that.
And they bring him back home as the returning son to, free Atlantis from the oppression. So he's the King Arthur myth. Instead of pulling the sword from the stone, he pulls the trident from the stone.
Yeah.
All the cool play on words that they do with that. In the post-crisis, he also has his real Atlantean name that he doesn't get because he got exposed, but they do call him every once in a while by Orn, which was good he got rid of it, because then he had been in the same boat as Ocean Master with Orm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Not real creative in that damn family, right?
No.
You have the most life in the world on the water, right? You name them jellyfish for fuck's sake. Come on.
Right.
Jelly for short, JF. Cephalopod.
Cephalopod.
Crustacea. I'm naming my first daughter Crustacea. That's what Krusty for short.
Sounds like a disease a lot of sailors actually
get. If you had Crustacea for more than 5 days, see your doctor. So his number 3 name, also from the post-crisis universe, this is given to him by his dolphin mother, Porm. He goes by the name Swimmer. That's what she calls him in whatever their telepathic language of dolphins are.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
When he's swimming for the University of Miami, he only goes by one name, and that's AC.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
they do. They call him AC. I remember that.
He goes, name's Arthur Curd, but you can call me AC. Because that's the U, baby.
Yes. And that's when Tab was created.
The U. and then of course the ones you're more well known with, King of Atlantis, King of the Seven Seas, the Sea King, all used frequently, Protector of the Deep. And then other ones that he gets referred to often are the Maritime Marvel and the Aquatic Ace. But my favorite is the 11th. And it didn't come out until they had the movie come out. And if you know your memes, you know which one I'm going with, and that is Wet Dave. And so, anyone listening to this, if you don't know him being called Wet Dave, just Google Wet Dave and meme, and somebody replaced the original movie poster with Dave's about to get abnormally wet. It's Wet Dave. And from now on, if they don't introduce Wet Dave into the comics, like in proper timeline, I'm going to be upset at some point. That's by far my favorite name for Aquaman. Hey, what's up, Wet Dave?
Yeah, that's a great name.
Which name would you call him if you ever met Aquaman? Would you say Aquaman, or what would you say?
Ooh, I'd either go with AC or Wet Dave. I think. AC, what's up? Although I don't like but
yeah, I know.
Man, Aquatic Ace. I like that. It makes me feel like that probably came from like earlier issues. Like,
that's one of the ones from the cartoon. Yeah, they call him the Aquatic Ace. Aquaman, the Aquatic Ace, swimming through the sea. Yeah, that's one of those. Yeah, the classic old the old cartoon voice that the overview. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
They're all so good though. He trumps Batman, Superman, and Captain America with nicknames, because when we've done Captain America nicknames, yeah, we couldn't come up with that many. So, or Hawkeye even. Mm-hmm. I'll let you, KMac, do the 12th day here, and then we will have one round of big singing.
All right. Are we going to sing it straight from the 12th day, or are we going to wait till
we'll do the 12th day, then we'll do one closeout, and we'll cheers each other after we run down through all the 12th day things.
All right. On the 12th day of Aquaman-Mas, DC Comics sent to me 12 companions campaigning. So
in place 12
buddies. Yeah, 12 drummers drumming, 12 sea buddies for Aquaman.
Yeah. These are the 12 best sea buddies of Aquaman. And I'm rating them in terms of who are the real G's to back Aquaman up in his career. And if you have not, Alex or KMac, if you have not read the wiki articles that I've posted on here, you gotta check out some of these bad boys. But I'm representing with all the G's. And most of them are creatures of the sea, with the exception of one, which I took some liberties with, but he's the real man when we get to him. So, starting off with, the first one, the lowest level G to back Aquaman's play. In the cartoons, each of the people ride a seahorse. So, Aquaman has a seahorse, Aquaman has a seahorse, and finally, Aquaman has a seahorse. So, Mera's seahorse is known as Pinky or Misty, depending on what you look online. And I think they call them both in the show at one time. She's a pink seahorse. So She's the Barbie seahorse of the sea that Mera rides around on.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good. Second G appears in a lot of the classic comics, when it was the more fun comics. Got 6 appearances, and his son makes an appearance, and that's Ark the Sea Lion. Goes on a lot of adventures with Aquaman, busting up different things, fishing rings and Nazis.
Nazis, yeah.
Yes. Similarly, makes a lot more appearance. Number 3 is Porpy the Porpoise. They don't get so creative, but he's a dolphin that hangs around Aquaman a lot for a number of years, solving crimes for him. Going back to the seahorse issues, Aqualad Seahorse is the more playful of the seahorses and the funner one, just like Aqualad, and that Sea Imp, pretty badass ride. Number 5, Aquaman's adoptive dolphin mother, Porum, who we would not have Aquaman without, who Aquaman would not know how to catch fish or suckle any dolphin teats. We get our girl Porum. Literally, who comes up with a name for the dolphins? Like we have a dolphin named Nera, we have a dolphin named Porum, like Porpy.
Porpy, yeah.
But it's like in the dolphin language, would Porum be a name, right? Because it just cackles.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Number 6. So at the midway point, the first of the hardcore G's that I like the thing he hangs out with, and this is from the movie, and that's the, if I say it right, the Karathan.
Yeah, it seems like almost like a Kraken.
He's either supposed to be the Kraken or Cthulhu, or he's a mashup of both. And so they even make an illusion that he's probably Cthulhu, because I watched Aquaman movie the other night, and on Thomas Kersey's desk table, he's reading H.P. Lovecraft's The Dunwich Horror, which is the first appearance of Cthulhu in literature, and he looks like what the Cartharian is, but he's also the Kraken because it's Car, whatever. So, and in the movie, they made him look, that monster or her or whatever she's supposed to be, just impressive. Like when he comes up out of the vents of the earth and the lava's flowing, like everybody's like, oh, what the fuck? He just wrecks shop, just destroys everything. So, and so the Karthan is, some people think it's a reimagination of the next character, Topo the Octopus, who starts out as a real octopus, and then more so over the years to being like a half octopus, half crab character. And at another time, he's actually a humanoid kind of octopus. But here's why Topo is a real G. He gets on a boat in one of the original comics and starts using a bow and arrow.
Like any respectable octopus.
Yes.
He's also on the...
Yes.
And that's why he's on beer cans.
The reason he makes it on the beer cans. And you can't cage an octopus. And imagine if an octopus, so you need 2 hands to operate a bow and arrow, right? So he's got 4 bows and arrows going at you. It's elite. Yes.
That's 8 green arrows.
I'm going to write a story where Topo and Green Arrow team up.
Yeah, that is crazy with all the bows and arrows, though.
At number 8, we get into a new 52 character that gets introduced, and that's Salty, or the Aqua Dog. Does he go on to do cool things? I just like that Aquaman had a full land-based mammal as one of his dog companions, or as his companions.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a cool. He's a golden retriever, but he's a cool. Like, I think it's one of those things that makes him like blend in with surface people. He's got a dog. Like, I want to say it's like one of his covers.
And he gets the whitest people dog, right?
Yeah, that's right. He's got blonde hair too.
He looks like he should be in an LL Bean catalog. He's got a pasty white girl with red hair. He's walking up and down. They're walking up and down the Maine coast, getting lobster rolls with their golden retriever.
Lives along the ocean.
There's my Range Rover. I'm wearing my vest. It's it's salty. Yeah. And then, of course, he has the whitest name, Salty Dog. So, but I like that.
Yeah.
Number 9 on the G list, from Brave and the Bold, my man Fluke the Dolphin. If you haven't watched Brave and the Bold, it's probably the best animated Batman, in my opinion. And Fluke is just the buddy that hangs around Aquaman. But Fluke likes Aquaman, but he loves Batman. And Batman can't stand him. And anytime they're on the scene together, Fluke is trying to pull off Aquaman or Batman's utility belt.
Ooh, getting frisky.
He's like,
And
and Batman's constantly like, "Is Fluke here? I don't want to be around Fluke." Just leave him. He's like, "But Fluke loves you.
We're sure they're not. Yeah.
He's your buddy."
I'm
Oh,
sure
there may
aren't other
be.
intentions with-
Knowing now what we know about dolphins and human interactions, and Batman is a scientist.
It's like, I know what you're doing. Don't worry.
I know you can get paid for grants for science. Batman's a scientist. And then number 10 on the G list is Storm, the seahorse. Appears in the cartoon, just like the stoic, badass ride for any undersea dwelling king. Appears in the comics, and I was amazed they brought him out for the movies too. They didn't call him Storm, but we all know the seahorse that he eventually rides is Storm, right, in the movie. It's got to be.
Yeah.
And then, number 11 on my G list, who appears in the comics and in the animation, and they need to bring him back for the movies, is Tusky the walrus, who gets into all types of crazy shit. just running around. And the fact that he named him Tusky, that's just the best. But he is, if you want to look at the pictures, Google Tusky, watch the animated show. He's just doing the awesomest things. They don't get adventures without Tusky, let's put it that way. and he talks back to people, and they're like, "God damn it, Tusky, leave us alone." Time. And then finally, this is the only human on the real G list, and I couldn't leave him off. I probably could have found another animal, but it is my man Aquamelvin, the super sea clown, who only appears in one issue. So there's a clown, Melvin, performing on a boat, gets capped by some pirates, right? Aquaman gives him a transfusion of his own blood, and Aquamelvin, a clown in a full clown outfit, gets all Aquaman's powers and goes on an adventure with them.
That's the best idea ever. I've never heard a better idea.
And Aquamelvin, of course, is pulling all types of hijinks. And so one of the things he does is he draws a lighthouse on a rock to run the pirates into it, because in an undersea boat, because Aquaman puts a lanternfish on top of it to fool them. It's my man, Aquamelvin.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done more with him. Just one issue. Oh wait, yeah, just one or two appearances maybe.
Need to bring him back though.
Obviously.
You got to give him 6.5 million views, and then he'll have his own spinoff. It probably became the source material for Stephen King's It.
Yeah.
Aquamelvin, real G. anyone that can wear clown makeup undersea and have the powers of Aquaman. Number one on the companion list. I'm sorry.
Right. I mean, it almost seems like Aquaman should adjust his own costume to be more clown-like. I mean, if Aquamelvin can pull it off, Aquaman should be able to do it too.
Most of the surface dwellers have said that already about him. He's got a clown-like costume.
Yeah.
With the orange and green.
I will say that's one correction that they made with the newer iterations of him. Getting rid of the Speedo. Made it
get rid of the black little Speedo thing he wore. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Although I am as a kid when the blue outfit came out, and all you saw, Alex, in the comic books was, because they didn't have a regular running Aquaman, you're just flipping through, and there's just this blue thing, streaky thing with like the wave is coming through, and it looks like he's part of the waves. It's like Aquaman re-debuting, and they're like, oh man, this looks amazing. And now everybody pans the costume, but I'm like, that was a dope costume when I was a kid. I mean, it looks like something like Lululemon now, but hey, it started someplace back in the 80s. But it is no Aquamelvin costume. The G of the ocean. So to close it out, we have to sing one round of every day. So in chorus, are you guys ready? Get it. 12
or the 1? Are we going?
Starting at 12 and counting down, right?
Yep. We got to keep time together.
No lag in this whatsoever.
You only have to sing the first lyric once, and then we just roll right through it. So,
Okay, good.
All right, you want to count us down?
Me. Oh, okay. 3, 2, 1. On the 12th day of Aquaman-Mas DC Comics sent to me 12 companion 11 appellations announcing 10 relatives all relating 9 powers synchronizing 8 menacings a meddling 7 seas a sloshing, but we use kingdoms 6 girls a laying 5 on fingers. KMac Yek.
4 a gold harpoon.
4 casting Aquamans. 3 funky origins. 2 dynamic teams. And a dank undersea cave.
Boy, I'm sure that sounds real good.
That is amazing. And it'll be better in post-production when KMac gets a hold of it.
You can auto-tune that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of that.
Oh, good job, everyone.
Well, for everyone that listened to this, I hope you will pay attention to this before the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom debut.
When does that movie come out?
December 22nd, I want to say.
Okay.
It's the Christmas weekend. Aquaman Alex should have his ticket already, I assume, lined up for the multiplex in Cleveland. And with a case of Christmas ale from Great Lakes or 12 Dogs of Christmas ready to go.
Can only have so many of those, otherwise I'll forget the movie.
You won't be able to forget the movie because we broke down every part of the movie here, including the fact when Aquamelvin makes an appearance in the post-credit scenes.
That would.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
That would be me after 12 Christmas ales.
You're walking around in a sea costume clown.
Aquamelvin Alex.
So, if you guys liked everything we did talking about Wet Dave today, the 12 Days of Wet Dave Miss, you can email us at cbcopodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up at Twitter, X at cbco_podcast. And like all our pictures of Aquamelvin, we're going to post that we can find at Instagram on comicbooks_cold ones. And we were pumped to have Aquaman Alex on today as our Aquaman expert. And he lived up to both the expertise of Aquaman and also the expert of Christmas beers today for us. So
Definitely.
Yes.
I appreciate the invite. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And I need to keep up with my comic lore. I know I've been digging into the Witcher series, so that's another recommendation from me on outside of Aquaman, the Witcher comics.
You gotta delve back in now that you got the link.
I know there's so much more of it. I'm gonna probably start reading Deep Target.
Yes.
That one seems like an awkward, or not awkward, but a unique enough storyline to get on.
Worth reading. So, KMac, you want to send us out here on wishing us holiday cheer for our Atlantean Yuletides.
Yeah. So everyone have a nice holiday. Celebrate with all of your fish friends in Atlantis. Watch the new Aquaman movie and let us know what you thought about it. Thank you everyone for listening. Have a good holiday and a good night.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To all a good night. Cheers.